Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this Ruched Bubu gown like you see in the video. Now let's get started. So for this tutorial, you'll be needing a fabric. I use 3 yards of Ankara here, your chalk, ruler and your tape. Let's get right into the video. You go ahead and fold your fabric in 4 like you see me in this video. Yeah, so you fold your fabric in 4. After folding it in 4, make sure that the edges are aligned. Okay, this is the way I folded it because we'll be cutting the front and the back pieces together. I had to fold it this way. That way it's easier for us. After aligning the edges, the next thing we are going to do is to mark out our body measurements. Okay, so from the shoulder to the bust point is 10 inches. And then you mark out your shoulder to your waistline, which is 16 for me, and shoulder to hip. The hip is usually 9 inches from the waist. Go ahead and connect it with a straight line, with a straight ruler. Connect your lines like you see in the video. Now I'll go ahead and mark the neck depth. So I'll be doing 3 inches for the front neckline. Remember, we'll be cutting the two together. So for the front neckline, 3 inches by 3 inches. So this is for the front neckline. And for the back, we'll be doing 3 inches by 1.5. The back depth will be 1.5. Now I'll go ahead and connect this with a curved rule like you see me do. Okay, so this is for the back neckline that we're connecting now. We'll go ahead and also connect for the front. Please pay attention to this so you don't get confused. So after marking, you can see what we have here. For the front, the deeper one is for the front and the other one is for the back. So this is me making it more visible, trying to make the lines more visible so you can see. So after doing that, this is for the back and this is for the front neckline. Now I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder line. So we'll not be cutting this open. Okay, so my shoulder line is 7. Shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 7 inches. And I'll be using the remaining for the sleeve. I'm not going to be cutting this open, so there'll be no shoulder slope. Okay, then on the bust point, I'll be using my hip measurement. Okay, because my hip is bigger than my bust, I'll be using my hip measurement since this is a bubu. And then I added extra 5 inches for ease. If you want yours bigger, you can go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to mark what we have all the way down. Okay, so the hip measurement plus 5, that's what I'll be marking all the way down. Don't forget this is folded in 4, so your hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches. Now I'll go ahead and connect the lines with a straight ruler like so. Connect it with a straight ruler all the way to the top. Now, after connecting this, I'll go ahead to mark my sleeve length. So my sleeve length is going to be 9 inches. I don't want it too wide, so I'm going to leave it at 9 inches. After that, I'll mark a connecting line, and then like this, I'll mark out a connecting line to connect it to where I want, how big I want the cloth to be. Then I'm going to make a curve. I'm going to make a curve like this for the armhole. That'll be the armhole curve. After that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Cut all the way down. After cutting, this is what we have. I'll go ahead and also cut out the neckline. So this is the back neck. We are cutting everything together. Please be very careful here. We've cut the back, and then we're going to separate it like this and cut for the front piece only. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Cut for the front piece only. Okay, so you can see the difference for the front and the back. I went ahead to make a notch there to indicate our center front and our center back. So this is what we have. So this is what we have when we open it up. You can see the front and the back neck depth. I went ahead to flip it to the other side because I want to mark the point where the ruche will be. So I marked from the shoulder to where I want the ruche to start, and I want it to start at my under bust, which is 13 inches. So I went down 10 inches is my bust point, and then I marked it at 13 inches, which is my under bust. Okay, so this is where I want the ruche to start, and I flipped it over because I want the ruche to be at my left hand side. So if you want yours to be at the right, you're free. Now I went ahead to mark out where I want it to be. This is going to be a side ruche. It's not going to be like ruched at the middle. So I marked out 9 inches all the way down. So you can go ahead and make yours 10, 11. If you want it at the center front, go ahead and do the same. So after marking it down, I'm going to go ahead and connect this with a ruler. Connect the lines. So after connecting it with a straight rule, now I went ahead to fold out a little piece of fabric. This is what we use to ruche the gown. Okay, so fold out a little piece like this and stitch it down. After that, I cut out about 3 inches of fabric and I sewed it at the middle. Remember the line we drew? That is where we'll be sewing this. Okay, so sew at the middle of the piece you've cut out. And then when I get to the edge, I'm going to trim it out. I'm going to trim it out, and then I folded it inside so that the edges will not fray. After that, I'll go ahead and fold the fabric by a quarter of an inch. Fold it in by a quarter of an inch. This is to make the edges very smooth. And then I'll stitch it down like this. So after stitching it down, the next thing we are going to do is to put a bias tip around the neck. So if you don't have a bias like this, you can fold part of the material. So we're going to pin it down round like I've done here. Pin it down, and then we're going to sew it with quarter of an inch all the way around the neckline. Okay, so after doing that, you go ahead and fold it inside and make a top stitch round it as well. After top stitching, this is what it looks like from the back. Yeah, this is what it looks like, very neat. I went ahead to open the back a bit because I noticed the neck is tight. So then I also went ahead to stitch the edges down, stitch the sides, yeah, just like this. Okay, so you can see what we have here. This is where the ruching will happen. Now the piece I folded before, the tiny piece I folded, I have flipped it over, gone ahead to turn it over, and now we're going to be passing it through the loop. Okay, we'll pass it and put it in the other hole. You're going to see me demonstrate that shortly. So this is it. I've passed it in one of the hole and I'll be passing it in the other one, just like this. Attach an office a safety pin to the edge of the rope. That way you can use it to pass it down. So after doing that, this is what we have. If you want yours tight at the waist, go ahead and add a belt inside it. And that's it for the tutorial, guys. I hope this was very helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.